الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: إذا مات الإنسان انقطع عنه عمله إلا من ثلاث: إلا من صدقة جارية أو علم ينتفع به أو ولد صالح يدعو له. So Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reports the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, when a person dies, all his deeds cease except the three things. That's a continuous charity, or a knowledge that would benefit others, or a righteous person, a righteous child that would make dua for him. And the hadith is very well known to everyone, and it's very obvious in its meaning, and it's an encouragement basically to leave charity, continuous charity. This is why Ibn Hajar is citing this hadith here, is for the Waqf, so everyone would leave behind them some legacy, some charity that would benefit others. And in a different hadith, the Prophet ﷺ clarifies those by saying that 7 things, their reward will continue. سبع يجري على العبد أجرهن وهو ميت في قبره. Even when he's dead, the ajr will continue. And that's when he said sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, it's the 7 things, like usually نهرا أو يحفر بئرا أو يوقف مصحفا. So a mushaf, that this is why people in our culture, everyone puts a mushaf in the masjid as a waqf, or digs a well of water for people. That's the sabil, as you know. And the river, أو يغرس نخلا, so, or plant a tree, a palm tree, or whatever. Allahumma salli ala Rasulillah. Google the hadith. 7 يجري على العبد. اللهم صل على رسول الله.
المرابط
لا.
knowledge to be learned.
سمع. ويجري العبد يجرهن وهو في قبره بعد موته. من علم علما.
So teaches knowledge, okay.
وأجرى نهرا.
We said river, well.
أو حفر بئرا أو غرس نخلا أو بنى مسجدا.
To build a mosque also.
أو ورث مصحفا.
أو ورث مصحفا.
أو ترك ولدا يستغفر له بعد موته.
Or a righteous child that would make dua for him, and the child means a girl or a boy, so it doesn't matter. So these are the things, and that's, subhanallah, an encouragement in our culture to keep things going even after you die. And it's been for hundreds of years, alhamdulillah, very deeply rooted in our traditions. طيب. قال: وعن ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما قال: أصاب عمر أرضا بخيبر فأتى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يستأمره فيها، فقال: يا رسول الله، إني أصبت أرضا بخيبر لم أصب مالا قط هو أنفس عندي منه. قال: إن شئت حبست أصلها وتصدقت بها. قال: فتصدق بها عمر أنه لا يباع أصلها ولا يورث ولا يوهب، فتصدق بها في الفقراء وفي القربى وفي الرقاب وفي سبيل الله وابن السبيل والضيف، لا جناح على من وليها أن يأكل منها بالمعروف ويطعم صديقا غير متمول مالا. So this hadith is basically the basis for endowment. And the endowment is a new concept. Al-Waqf is a concept that in the pre-Islamic era was not existent. So it's a purely Islamic concept, and everyone else learned it from Islam, subhanAllah. So Islam is the first, was to introduce it to humanity, alhamdulillah. And in this hadith, Ibn Umar reports that Umar, his father, and he specifically mentioned Umar, he didn't say a companion, and he didn't say my father. He said Umar radiallahu anhu acquired a piece of land in Khaybar. He traded it for some of his shares of Ghanima, and he took a land. So he came to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam to ask him what to do with it. And he told the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, I've acquired a land that none of my wealth is dearer to me than that piece of land. So the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam told him, and you need to remember this portion of the hadith, قال إن شئت حبست أصلها. So this is the definition of the waqf. قال حبس الأصل وتسبيل المنفعة. This is the definition of waqf. So you retain the basic asset, you freeze it. This is حبست أصلها. You freeze it, nothing can be done with it. And you cannot sell it, you cannot donate it to someone else, you cannot gift it, you cannot do anything with it. And then, whatever it produces, you give it in charity. So Umar قال فتصدق بها. So he gave it to charity with the conditions that the asset itself cannot be sold, cannot be inherited, cannot be gifted. So it's frozen for good. And then anything that it produces, the revenue that comes from it, that it will be spent for the relatives, to free the slaves, for the jihad, for the travelers who are cut off, for guests. And whoever is working on it, the wali, the guardian of the land, can take just enough to fulfill his needs. Cannot spend on himself. They said if it's a farm, enough to eat what a normal person would eat. Right? Cannot take wages from it for himself, just like any other person. And then to give a friend, if there is a fruit, you can offer him just a jafi, like when we offer people something to eat. And without any one of those, the friend or the wali, to acquire متمول المال to hoard and make a store out of it. And
non-profit.
Non-profit, basically. And this is the concept, basically, that everyone else took from Islam, subhanAllah. And alhamdulillah, this is a very well-known tradition. And as we mentioned before, there are so many rules related to the waqf. Some people say it is allowable to be sold, but if they knew this hadith, it is very clear. Abu Yusuf said, whoever said that can be sold, if they know this hadith, they wouldn't say what they've said. Because there are some scholars who say that it can be sold, and it is very obvious the Prophet ﷺ, and the understanding of Umar, basically, this is how it works.
Even the person who is donating it saying it can be sold.
Once you make it waqf, it is waqf.
It's not yours anymore.
So I have a question here. Waqf, what you are saying, say I have an apartment in a city and I donated it waqf. Now the city for bigger need, it need to make good construction or a big hospital. In that scenario, what can be done?
So they say the waqf can only be sold or changed to benefit the waqf itself. So you can take the money and put it somewhere else in a different apartment or a different construction, and that would continue to be the waqf.
So what happened to the land that Hazrat Umar waqf did?
Still same status.
Wallahi, if you go to Medina, this is in Khaybar. If you go to Medina, you know, and you look around the Masjid al-Nawawi, they tell you this is Waqf Uthman, for example. You know, and it's a building that's continuously, and it goes for a charity. It's a hotel, actually. So that was the Waqf of Sayyidina Uthman. The Waqf of Sayyidina Umar, I'm not sure what happened to it. Yani, some people say it still exists. I am not certain. But there is the Waqf of Ali, there is the Waqf of Uthman, there is the Waqf of many Sahabas.
Give you a tour.
Yeah, that is still there. This particular one, I'm not sure what happened with it.
Because Khaybar still exists.
وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله
You mentioned you mentioned your Khyber. Can you just tell me where is the Khyber?